Hello everyone, my name is Vishnu and in this video we are going to make a fully functional calculator using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. We are going to quickly add up the boilerplate and we'll give the title as calculator. Okay, and after that inside the body what we are going to do is we are going to create a div tag and we'll give it an ID called main container. Okay, and after that we are gonna create another div inside the main container called input. Now inside this div, of course, we are gonna make an input tag. So input type text, and we will give this input type an ID as well called result. Okay, and we'll go live. Okay, here we can see that we got an input like this. So we'll start adding the buttons. So what are we gonna do is after the input div inside the main container we are gonna create another div and give it an ID called buttons. Now inside this div what we are gonna do is we are gonna create more 5 divs. So div multiplied by 5. Okay, now what we are gonna do is inside each div we are gonna add 4 buttons. So in the first div let's do button. We'll give this a class called btns. Okay, and we're just gonna simply copy this and paste it 4 times. Okay, now here we got the 4 buttons. Now let's do something like inside the button we'll do something like here we'll add 1 2 3 and here a plus. Okay, and after that we are going to just simply copy this and paste it inside the second div, the third div and the fourth div. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to change the buttons. So after this we are going to do 4 5 6 minus. Here we are going to do 7 8 9 and here times, and here we'll do 0 division symbol or reference slash, we'll do is equals to and delete. Okay, now we are going to save this. Now as we can see our HTML part has been completed. Okay, now this is looking very ugly, so we'll do CSS and make it beautiful. So without wasting any time, we are going to create a new CSS file called style.css and we'll link this CSS file with the HTML1. So inside the head tag, we're going to do link CSS. Okay, so the style.css file has been successfully linked with the HTML1. So in the style.css, the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to set the margin and padding to 0. So we are going to do asterisk and margin 0, padding 0 and box sizing border box. Okay, so the margin and the padding has been set to 0. So what are we going to do now? We are going to get this calculator in the middle. So to do that we are going to target the main container's parent container, which is body. So in the CSS we are going to do body and we are gonna make it a flex box. So display flex. Okay, now we are gonna do justify content centered, align items centered, and we'll give it an height of 100 vh. Now as you can see the calculator has been get to the center. Now we are gonna give it a border. Okay, so we'll give it a border to the main container. So hash main container, we are going to give border 2 pixels solid black. Okay, now it's looking something like this. So what are we going to do now is we are going to target the buttons and give it some font size and we'll make it to center. So we are going to target the dot buttons. Okay, dot btns. So here we're going to do dot btns and we'll give it a width of 50 pixels and height of 60 pixels. We are gonna give the background as transparent. Okay, now they are looking something like this. Now we are gonna give them some padding 10 pixels, and some margin 10 pixels. Okay, so the next thing which we'll do is we'll give them a border radius. So border radius maybe 30 pixel. Yeah, the buttons are looking good. So the next thing which we want to do is we'll make this input tag in a good thing. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna target this input tag. So we have given it an ID, right? So we have given it an ID called result. So we are gonna do hash result. We are gonna give it a width of 100 pixels, height of 100 pixels. Okay, and now this is looking very ugly, but we are gonna customize it. So we'll do inspect element, and we're gonna manually set the width and height. So first of all, let's reduce its height. Okay, let's reduce its height. Okay, this much is enough, I guess. 50 pixels and a width of okay, so we are gonna give it a width of 295 pixels. Okay, we are just gonna copy this one, copy and paste it in the result. Okay, the input has been done. So we'll give it a font size. Okay, so we're gonna do font size at 20 pixels. Okay, now it's looking good, and we'll give it some margin so that it won't stick to this border container. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna do margin 20 pixels. As we can see, it is properly aligned right now, but the buttons are actually disaligned. So what are we gonna do is we are gonna target the button one, this one. We are gonna target this one, ID buttons. So what we are gonna do, we are gonna do hash buttons. We will give it a margin of 20 pixels. Okay, so now they are properly aligned. So next thing which we want to do is we'll give this button some font size. So in the BTNS we are gonna do font size 20 pixel. Okay, we are gonna do it 30 pixel, I guess. Okay, now they're looking good. Now we will give it a font family. So we're gonna go to fonts.google.com. I think my internet is gone, so we are gonna use an existing font family. So font family, we are gonna give this one. No, this is not looking good. Let's give it serif. Okay, no, still they are not looking good. We'll give it sans serif. Okay, now they're looking good. Okay, there's a background color. So in the body we'll do background color, do it black. Okay, now everything is gone, so we are gonna make this border as white color. Okay, and we are gonna do this buttons text color as white. So in the BTNS, let's do color white. So as you can see, the buttons has reappeared. Now what we are gonna do is we'll give this main container a border radius. So main container, let's give it a border radius of 20 pixels. It's looking good. Now what are we gonna do is we can do many other things, like we'll set this input background to transparent as well. So the result one, background, do transparent. Okay, now it's transparent, and we are gonna do the color white. Okay, so this calculator is looking good right now, but not the best. So now what are we gonna do is we will give it a box shadow to the buttons. So in the BTNS, what are we going to do is we will give it a box shadow 2 pixels, 2 pixels, and the blur radius will be 2 pixels. We will give it white. Okay, now the buttons are looking good, and we're gonna do the same with the main container one. So the main container box shadow 2 pixels, 2 pixels, and the blur radius would be 3 pixels. Okay, 3 pixels. Let's do it white. Okay, now it's looking somewhat of good. So the next thing which we'll do, we will also add the border radius to this input one. So the result here we'll give border radius of 10 pixels. Okay, now it's looking good. Okay, so now we are gonna add the hover effects for the buttons. So to do that, we are gonna do .btns and hover. We will do the color as aqua and the box shadow 1 pixel, 1 pixel, and the blur radius of 1 pixel aqua as well. Okay, now when I hover any button, we are getting this cool effect, right? So here the background color is not that much good, so we are gonna change it. So inside the body, we are gonna just simply remove the background color and we'll do background linear gradient 45 degrees. And here I have an old snippet which I used to use in many projects, so I'm gonna simply paste it here. Well, I'll give this in the description if you want. As you can see here, it's looking very much better right now. Oops, I made a mistake here. So the mistake is like the is equals to symbol should be here and the delete symbol should be here. So we can fix it. So in the HTML one, we're gonna quickly change it. Okay, here we'll do D and here is equals to. Okay, so the CSS and HTML part has been completed. Now we'll start writing our JavaScript. Okay, we'll start writing our inline JavaScript. So inside the index.html and inside the button, what we are going to do is we are going to add a function called onClick. Okay, so what does onClick function do? If someone clicks on a button, what should happen? Okay, so if someone clicks on the button 1, set the result value as 1. Result is nothing but this box. We have given it an ID called result. So result dot value, set it to 1. Okay, so if we click on the button 1 here, the result dot value has changed to 1. Now there's a problem, like if I hit the 1 again, nothing is happening because the onClick function is overwriting the previous click. So to avoid that, we are gonna use the plus symbol here before the is equals to. By this we can add how many ones we want. Okay, so now we are gonna simply copy this onClick function and we are gonna paste it inside every button. So we are gonna use the multi-cursor function of VS Code. Okay, now I've pasted that onClick function inside every button, and there's a problem. Here if we click any button, only 1 is coming. It's because we have set the value to only 1, right? So we need to change it. So for 2 we are gonna do 2, here 3, here plus, and here 4, here 5, here 6, here minus, and here 7, here 8, here 9, and an asterisk. So now we are gonna make the delete button functional. So to do that, all you need to do is just remove the plus before equals to, and we need to add a gap between them. And now if we hit the delete button, everything is getting clear. Now it's because actually what we are doing here is onClick result.value, we are setting it to nothing. And then finally the last, we are gonna make this is equals to symbol functional. So here if we do 1 plus 2 and hit is equals to, it's not working, so we'll make this functional. So to do that, inside the button of is equals to, we'll do on click result dot value is equals to, we're gonna use an eval function and do result dot value. Now what is this eval function? So eval function is an inbuilt function in JavaScript, and it can do many mathematical equations and plus minus, all those basic things. So what will happen here, if we do 1 plus 2, the eval function will do the calculation and give us the result just like this. And finally we have our calculator done. Now we can do many things like 1 plus 1 2. Let's do some multiplications. 5 times 9 45, and let's do 10 divided by 2 5. So this is a fully functional calculator. I hope you like this video, and please share this video with your friends, and thanks for watching.